So the live stream is back on. Yes. Okay. Thank you so much. And we will proceed with the results. I want to announce that Catherine Nascimento de Sousa, you have been elected to be the next EPSA Treasurer 2023-2024. Okay. And we will proceed with the next part of the elections, which is the election of the Vice President of Education, Katarina Wilhelmina Jakova Knoll, proposed by KNPSB the Netherlands and seconded by KPSF Greece. And I will ask the candidate to come.
Katrina Knoll, Vice President of Education candidate. General Assembly. Thank you for considering my application for the Vice President of Education. My name is Katrina Knoll, and I'm a sixth-year pharmaceutical student at the University of Groningen. There are many reasons why students come to EPSA, but they have one thing in common. They all come here for something that their universities can't offer, something that inspires them, and something that's out of the ordinary. One way we can offer that to them is through education. Education is the most powerful tool we have to change the lives of patients all over Europe. Education is a lifelong learning journey that requires a continuous learning and growth. You need to be able to take on new challenges, explore unexplored areas, and be open to diversity. As Vice President of Education, I want to ensure that the future generations of pharmaceutical students become competent and successful healthcare leaders. They have the soft skills to build positive relationships with patients, with colleagues, and with other healthcare professionals. That know about the groundbreaking research that is conducted and are inspired to do the same. That are equipped with skills to handle all the public health crises and challenges the future has ahead, and that they have the courage and inspiration to learn their whole life long. For me, it would be a pleasure to contribute my skills towards that goal. My previous experience in the law communities and also my past year in the educational department of EPSA have equipped me with knowledge and organization skills that are required for this position. And as a vice president of education, I will ensure that the educational activities of EPSA will be relevant, inspiring, and very much engaging. And I do that by staying up to date with the newest developments, by making sure that there is a strong structural organization and promotion of the educational activities, and by investing in a very diverse and engaging educational program at EPSA events. It's an honor to be applying for the position, and I will do everything in my power with all enthusiasm and passion to get the best out of this position in the coming year. Thank you.
Kachin, and then we will proceed with the proposing speech. So, KMPSV, go ahead. We have a technical from.
Chloe, Michael, could you speak loudly in the microphone because they can't hear much in the live stream?
Okay.
Go ahead, proposer.
Elina came to the Netherlands. So we're super proud to be proposing Katja for Vice President of Education. Katja, in our eyes, has the two main ingredients that are important for EPSA. One is passion and the other one is experience. So with regards to the experience, she's been a super successful public health and social services coordinator this year. And then also she's already been the trainer, which also gave her a lot of experience within EPSA. And the passion is very evident from all the campaigns she's produced. And if you've spoken to her at any events, she lives and breathes EPSA, so she would be super valuable for the team. Also, in general, again, Vice President is part of the executive, and with her experience, we really think that she could also help this team specifically. So, therefore, we are super proud to propose her. Thank you.
Thank you, PSV, and then we'll go on with the second speech. EPSF, go ahead.
Methodology is Greece. CBSF is highly honored to support Katarina in her application as Vice President of Education. We are truly confident that she will thrive in this position and she will be a source of inspiration for the next educational department and successfully lead it to the fullest of its potential. The motivational skills gained from her experience like in PSV and the high levels of empathy and enthusiasm she so undoubtedly holds and possesses, combined with more practical skills such as management and organization, form an ideal candidate for this position. We would also like to stress that the candidate stated that she is ready to be an intern in EPSA in Brussels, and this is really important since the portfolio is quite time consuming, and it's certainly beneficial that the holder of this position is making the most out of it and taking the time and energy for this. This way, we can avoid burnout and continue to lead in an effective way, inspire the coordinators, and keep an open mind to new ideas to enhance EPSA's educational scope. Being a leader will allow her to be in close communication with possible partners. So that's why we believe she will be able to thrive this year and make the most out of this.
Thank you so much. And then I will open the floor for questions for the candidate. I see Shusu Fudu.
Anita Shustado Slovenia, what are your plans regarding the lifelong learning platform and how do you plan to be closer to the EPSA members?
Katarina Knop, Katarina Knop, Vice President of Education.
Thank you so much for your question. It's a really interesting question. I like it. I think the life learning platform has a lot of potential, and I think one of the main things we should invest in next year is to make the platform visible and promote it, since it's basically ready to launch and expand in the courses. And I think it's very important that we promote it, that we make clear instructions on it, make it a clear that has a clear structure and that the vision of the platform is clear and communicated to students. I will support the educational affairs coordinator to do that this year by helping to establish some action points and some like a more long-term plan for the platform so that everyone knows what it's about. And yeah, I will do this with great enthusiasm as I'm very passionate about lifelong learning. And I think if we have the platform. Thanks.
The next question from Anep.
Manon and France, since you were a coordinator in the educational department this year, what do you think was lacking the most in it, and like, what can you implement in this as vice president? Thank you.
Katerina, Vice President of Education Canada. I think what can be improved more is to have collaboration between the projects of the departments, because we have a lot of educational projects within EPSA, and I think we can evolve them to become closer together and to be more integrated with each other. so we can have impact, like a greater impact on the projects, and they can have beneficial, like both ways.
Well, um, what do you think is the most difficult task in your portfolio, and what are you going to do to go around it?
Gotcha, Vice President of Education candidate. I think the most challenging task in my portfolio is to prioritize every project equally, because I think that every educational project of EPSA should be equally treated, should be equally promoted, and that they all should be known with students. Because in the end, the projects were established to help students in Europe develop, and I think it's very important to focus on that. Um,
Beatriz up in Portugal. Can you elaborate a little bit on the qualitative evaluation of the educational department and what were your plans for the alumni role that you mentioned? Thank you.
Gotcha, Vice President of Education candidates. So what I really want to do is to have the impact of every educational project measured by evaluation. And right now, every project has their own way of evaluating. But I just want to make sure that for every project, the way of evaluation is the same, and that we can actually see, okay, this is how many students we reach with every project. This is the impact that we're having on future healthcare professionals right now, because I think it can help in getting other students engaged, getting help and support from members. And I think that especially the alumni should be very involved in this, because they know what the best of the project was about. We know the highs and the lows and the challenges, and I think it's very important to engage with them on this topic.
Thank you, Claudia Macro. I have a question from Andrea Jordak. Her question is, LEAP has been having concrete plans of action for many years now, but somehow they were never fully followed up on, either by the PR department or by the educational department. You need both departments to work consistently on it to have results. How do you plan to make sure that both departments would be committed to making it work this year?
Vice President of Education candidate. I think it's very important to mention that leap courses are mentioned in our strategy as EPSA. So it's actually a common goal we have. And I think that in terms of establishing this great collaboration, it should be right from the start. So when the PR department is known, we should sit together and make this a priority to have regular meetings once a month on the platform, to have a meeting together with all the predecessors of the educational affairs position to see what were the problems and how can we overcome them in the future. Um,
Elena, out of Austria, how do you plan on working with the RC? They are often more used to their national congresses, and their vision of the congress might differ. Thank you.
Vice President of Education candidate. It's a very good question. I would, first of all, in this situation, see where their vision comes from, what it's rooted in, because often, if you know why they're proposing stuff, you can find a common ground. So I would first of all investigate why there's a difference in vision and to solve this out. And I also think that the collaboration of the RC rests on mutual engagement and on mutual grounds. So I think that's one thing I would really invest in to have a good relationship with the RC. And even if there's a difference in vision, we should find a common ground because in the end we have a common ground, and that's to educate our students during events. So the common ground is already there. The execution can differ, but we should always come back to the same common goal that we have with each other, and I think that will help the collaboration.
Bernardo of Portugal. Um, what's your overview on the current structure of the educational program of the event, and if you are planning to do anything different from what's currently happening?
Vice President of Education candidates. My current opinion on the program is already quite good. I really like that we have this mixture between opportunities for pharmaceutical students to learn and develop their soft skills, that we have opportunities for them to learn more about hard skills, groundbreaking research. I like that we have opportunities for them to explore new careers. And I really like that we have also some sessions that we are very big and with all of them in symposia. I really like to listen to like the development of the panel sessions, and I would like to keep that. What I would, however, change in the educational program is right now we sometimes have many slots of sessions, like 8 sessions in parallel, and we can mix this up with some more engaging activities, for example, also sporting activities or activities that you can do in a bigger group to make it for the RC more meaningful.
Elena of Austria. Any department needs a very close collaboration with all other EPSA departments. How do you plan on establishing a good working relationship with each one of them to be able to bring the portfolios forward? Thank you.
Active Vice President of Education candidate. In my previous, in my mandate right now as Public Health and Social Services Coordinator, I also work together with a lot of different departments, so I know what it's like to have all a different perspective on the same topic. The one thing I find most beneficial is to have frequent communication and reaching out whenever you can and see that there's an opportunity for collaboration. And in reaching out, just texting, messaging in any way possible, and also to have a strong relationship from the beginning, also on a personal level, I think would really be beneficial to all relationships because in the end, we're all here with the same goal.
Then we have Albert, followed by what are the
Beatriz of Portugal. How do you plan to increase the collaboration in advocacy matters?
Gotcha, Vice President of Education candidates. I think there can be way more possibilities of collaboration. I think, especially on the topic of education, we can advocate for our curricula as students. I also think that, for example, on public health campaigns, and the public health and social services coordinator can incorporate more advocacy in the campaign by working close together with the policy coordinator and also with advocacy platform coordinator. I also think that, for example, on research topics, we could have collaboration between the educational departments and European Affairs department, so that all our policy papers stay evidence-based, and that we can have a combination and all our main topics aligned with each other. Because I think the more aligned we are and the more we have the same goal in mind, the better the collaboration will be. And
Alex, Alex Vest from Romania. So, can you elaborate on your strategy to attract new speakers?
Gotcha, Vice President of Education candidates. So I want to approach this on different ways. I know there's a lot of member associations active at the university level. So I want to create a strong bond with all our members and see what can be done with regards to the topics that are trending there. I will also try to attend as much as external activities related to education when I will be elected and have the internship in Brussels, and to see if there's more possibilities for collaboration and if there's new things on the horizon that can inspire students, and also to seek out more out of the box ways. For example, at this symposium, we had a psychologist speaking, which may be from another field, but I think it's very important for the interdisciplinary collaboration to have also fields, speakers from other fields there, and to see what we can bring to the students to inspire them.
Charlotte, policy coordinator. Regarding the public consultation from the European Commission that are about education, how would you plan to collaborate with the European Affairs Department? Thank you.
Gotcha, Vice President of Education candidates. Well, first of all, I would like a strong collaboration with every executive member, but especially with the European affairs. And how I plan to collaborate is that once we see an opportunity, for example, a public consultation, but it can be everything, anything, that we have a brainstorming session together of what we can do and what EPSA can bring to that. And I think not only the public consultations, but also other opportunities, we can work together to make more impact and to make the voices of students being heard. Because I think we have a very important voice as students, as we are the future healthcare professionals of Europe.
Hi, I'm Annabelle, BPC. You mentioned in your speech that you want to integrate the alumni more in the educational program. What are your plans by collaborating with the alumni coordinator or etc. for this? I think the alumni are a big part of the educational program.
Gotcha, Vice President of Education, and I think it's all turning around with relationships. So I would try to establish relationships with alumni and to work together closely with alumni coordinator on this topic and to see where we can involve them, not only in the educational program, but also in a general level of EPSA, since they have the knowledge from the healthcare professionals' perspective and they know what's lacking there and what we can still change here as an European Pharmaceutical Students Association.
Another recent point, cooperation between educational department and PR department is crucial to reach members. What are your plans for preparing the strategy of cooperation, and what do you do to improve the strategy and recommend it?
Gotcha, Vice President of Education candidates. So first of all, I think preparation is key in this case. So at the beginning of the year, I will see for every project what will be their main parts of the year where there will be promotion needed. So we have an overview of when all the educational activities will be promoted. Of course, we can have some last minute changes, but the most we can do at the start of the year to have already organization in place. On top of that, I think we should also reduce the workload of the PR on the educational department by creating templates for regular publications. It will not only strengthen our brand by making consistency in our social media on the different projects, but it will also make sure that for the PR department, it's easy to collaborate with us, and for us, it's easy to collaborate with them. So I would look for the most efficient way in which we can work together, and I will do that in collaboration with them.
Bernardo, pessoal. You mentioned in your forms that you're making sure that the topics of the events follow trending topics. What strategy do you have for this, and do you have any examples of what you do? Thank you.
Gotcha, Vice President of Education candidates. Yes. So first of all, for this, I will try to stay in touch with everything that happens on the educational level at universities. So I will just follow the news, like on what's to see what's new, and whenever I come across an opportunity, I will seek it out. I will also actively ask the members what their like main point of interest right now is on education. And besides that, I do ask for examples, right? So I think the next Autumn Assembly has a very good example, for example, for digitalization. And there's still a lack of knowledge in the pharmaceutical curriculum, but I also think that right now, we are collecting the outcomes for patient education. And I think it's also very interesting to bring the patient's perspective closer to pharmaceutical students, to have actually patients speaking at symposia, and then students can learn from their experience.
Elena, up in Austria, the EPSA's educational department has the most already established projects. This comes with a very strict structure and a lack of innovation. How would you tackle this concretely when defining the priorities this mandate? Is there something specific you would like to change? Thank you.
Gotcha, Vice President of Education candidates. So I will not change like any specific project we have right now, but I will see if there's more opportunities to collaborate, that projects are more integrated with each other. For example, that the public health campaigns are aligned with all our science publications. Yeah, and also I think that there is some space for flexibility, since every new coordinator brings their perspective on it and tries to involve it in the best way he or she can.
About EPSA Poland, do you think there is any space to improve educational outcome booklet after the events? And do you have any ideas to improve it somehow, or do you think it's like it's okay? It's like no.
That's Vice President of Education candidate. So I think it's a very interesting matter because right now at the moment most educational outcomes are written from a perspective of the team members attending the session, and I think it would be beneficial if we also got the outcomes of regular participants themselves. It has been very challenging, however, to get that, but it's also always very interesting to see the students' perspective on what they have learned during an event. An idea is to have it evaluated at the end so that they can write their outcomes at the end of the event and submit them to us and to see if we can see what students are thinking and that we have a really students' perspective.
Marion and France, this department has been really public health oriented. Do you have any plan for social services? Thank you.
Gotcha. Vice President of Education Candidates. Yes, I think there can be many plans. I think, for example, at events, we could organize some like fundraising sporting activity, for example. We could have, for example, at the Autumn Assembly, we had a first aid workshop in which participants learned how to save life. I can also think of we can invite humanitarian pharmacists that work, for example, with drug addicts and see the perspective on that. Also, I think we should um, encourage these social services campaigns more by having challenges and competitions for students to explore this field of social services and to contribute to society. So it has been an honor for me to apply for this position. And I will do everything in my power to the best that I can. I really want to thank you for all your questions since they have given me more insights and hopefully you too. And this is actually kind of special since my first event was also in Slovenia. And now I want to continue my journey because my love for EPSA and for bringing pharmaceutical students together and seeing them share knowledge only has become greater. And it would be my greatest pleasure to fulfill this duty this year.
You and I will ask